Thank you for downloading my Logic Pro template. I built this template for quick and effective mixing and tracking. What you're going to find is all your tracks already laid out, routed, and some suggestions for where to start on your processing. Let's take a look at this template real quick, and we're going to run from top to bottom. Okay, you've got your click track standard, and you've got some reference tracks here. This is where you're going to load any references that the artist has. For example, they have a song that they want to sound similar to, or they have an artist that they admire, or they have a song where they like the instrumental layout and the mix. You can go ahead and drop that song into the reference tracks and A/B it against your mix, okay? And then you've also got a track here for the demo. Very important that you put the demo into the session. That way you never lose track of the demo. You always stay in the artist and the producer's headspace. You know what they're shooting for, and your job is to enhance it. Okay, we've got a master print section here. Once you're done with your mix, you're gonna actually record enable this track and run the whole track from left to right. You just run the whole track top to bottom, and what you're doing is you're actually recording the mix. That way you're listening to the mix and making sure it's exactly what you want before sending it to the artist. You're not depending on a bounce. And this gives you a chance to do multiple mixes. For example, you can just add another track or add another take, record over it, and you've got the old mixes that you've printed before right there. And the way you get to this master print, I already have the mix bus. You'll see the mix bus here is already routed at 0 dB, just full fader send to the master print. So it's always sending to the master print. As soon as you hit record enable, you can go ahead and print it. And when I say print my mix, that means literally just recording your mix. Now let's keep running. You've got your master. This is empty, okay? This is just your stereo out, but it's helpful just to see the meter, okay? And mix bus. All the instruments, every single thing is gonna flow to the mix bus. Here you see I have a whole bunch of folders set up. Okay, we can collapse these folders and they go into main groups. The all instruments folder. Let's start with that. This includes your instruments right here. And you can always add more instruments. You just duplicate one of these tracks, it'll keep the routing, and you just add the instruments. And same with your drums. I already got the main drums right here. You can go ahead and add, you just duplicate one of these tracks as so. What we can do is just hit Command D, and then it'll duplicate the track, Command D. And then you've got the same routing, all right? Now, let's talk about how these tracks are routed. You'll see here that the instruments, and we're looking at the left right here, which shows your channel strip. Every instrument is sent to the bus instrument sum. What does that mean? It means that these 4 tracks are gonna go into this summing track, this aux track first. So they're gonna hit the instrument sum bus, right? And then what does that mean? You have control in one fader over all these instruments. You can change volume, you can add processing to all the instruments at once. And then after the instrument sum bus, then this bus is gonna go to the mix bus. So once again, and this is the same philosophy for all the tracks. You've got your instrument sum bus. They're going to be sent, all of them at the same time, into the instrument sum bus, and then from there they're going to be sent to the mix bus. Okay, same with the drums. You've got all your drums here. Okay, they're going to be sent to the drum sum bus. You're going to notice that each instrument group, for example, the lead vocals or the background vocals, all have their own sum bus. They all have some place where they all meet before hitting the mix bus. So you've got the tracks right here. They're all going to be sent to drum sum bus. You can do processing on all the tracks at the same time if you want to here. Then the drum sum, the drums are an instrument, so they're going to also be sent from the drum sum bus to the instrument sum. So once again, the drums are sent to the drum sum bus. Since the drum is an instrument, it's also going to be sent to the instrument sum bus, and then from there it's going to hit the mix bus. Okay, so you can sort of see this hierarchy. What is this for? This is for maximum control. Number one, once you're done with your mix, you can print the stems. You can print just the drum sum bus or the instrument sum bus, but also you do your processing individually on each track. But then routing everything to a common sum bus gives you the opportunity to shape all those tracks at the same time. If you want to add parallel compression to all the drums, or you want to add saturation or EQ to all the drums at the same time, or even just do some automation on the whole group at once, this summing track gives you that opportunity. And then sent to the instrument sum bus, then to the mix bus. Okay, next, it's the same system for all these groups of tracks. You got the lead vocal. Okay, you got a tracking vocal right here. You got a tracking track. You can go ahead and track with the artist on this track, and it's just drag down to whatever lane it belongs to, lead vocal 1, 2, or 3. And if that system works for you, that's fine. If you'd rather just record straight into the lead vocal tracks, you can do that too. And same thing, you've got all 4 tracks leaving to the lead vocal sum. They're going to meet right here at the lead vocal sum bus, and then that bus is sent to the mix bus. Okay? Next, same thing with the background vocals. You've got your background vocal tracks. All of them are sent to the background vocal sum, and then from there, they are sent to the mix bus. Okay? So you've got like 4 tracks that are sent to one bus, and that bus is then sent to the mix bus. So all your groups meet at the mix bus. Same thing with the vocal verbs. Okay, what I also do is any effects that I have, I don't do it straight on the channel. I send whatever channel needs an effect to its own aux track. That way you can actually do independent control on that track of the effects versus the lead vocal or whatever instrument. You have the dry instrument, and then you have an effect on the side that you can manipulate if it's on its own track. And even all the effects, you're gonna see that the effects, and by the way, you already have right here sends on every vocal track to where you want to send the vocal to. For example, do you want to send it to reverb? You can just go ahead and bring this fader up, and you're already sending it to reverb. Same with the delay. Okay, all your vocal effects are going to be sent to the FX sum, meaning effects, and then that goes to your mix bus. Okay, so that's the rundown of the mixing template. If we take a look at the mix track, you're going to see that each track has just a little bit of, they have starting points. For example, your mix bus has starting points for compressor, limiter, and loudness. What I've done is, you're going to see that if you open up any of these presets that I have here, they have nothing or very little on them. For example, here we just have some roll-offs on some of the groups right here. For example, background vocal sum. We just roll it off at the bottom. You're going to see that what you have to do in these plugins is, I've already laid out the general settings that I like to use. All you have to do is adjust the threshold, for example, on the compressor, until you get to a sound that you like. Okay, and then same right here. You'll notice here we have fast compression first on the vocal. We have and then we have the ratio up high. So use this lightly. Boom. We just move the threshold until we get to a sound that we like. Next, it goes to a slow compressor. You see it has a slow attack and a fast release, a slower attack, and then you adjust the threshold as you like. Next, we have the EQ. This is a Tube EQ emulator based on a Pultec. I love the sound of this. It's super rich. It's broad moves over the, you're shaping the vocal. And then your pitch correction, and then subsaturation. All right, guys, and then you've already got preset starting points for your vocal effects. For example, reverb, time delay, and tape delay. All right, once again, guys, thank you so much for downloading this mixing template. Thank you for trusting me in your process. Check out my social media for any updates that I have. I'm always putting out free stuff, free resources for producers like you and mixing engineers like you to just get into the field and start doing it at home. The power is doing it at home. Thank you so much. My name is Gabe Pacino. Peace.